All right, well, I think we're to the point where now we need to begin thinking about the engine case or the crankcase, this piece right in here. If we come around to the other side, I'm going to press Control 3 on the numpad and Shift Z to go to wireframe. You can see this case cover here, right there, right? And on the other side of it is this more cylindrical thing. And this is the thing that also connects to the cylinders and the push rods. So that's one of the reasons why I've put it off, is because we want it to connect to things that are already there. But also I've put it off just because it looks hard. It is one of the most oddly shaped things on the motorcycle here. And it's just going to be a little more complicated than the other parts, I think. So frankly, I've put it off a little, but I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to deal with this. Are you? I think we're ready. Let's first of all take a look at some reference images of just this piece so we can get a better sense of what it looks like. So let me come over here to Image and Open, and let's go to Reference Images. And in our Internet Images, I've added a few here. Here's some images of a 1936 or a replica of a 1936 Harley engine case. And I've also got a case cover here too. But first of all, let's take a look at, say, this one here. Let's press Control and Spacebar and zoom in. So I think on this side, we can probably begin with a cylinder here and extrude in to here and extrude back toward the cylinder openings here. And then let's take a look at another one here. Let me go back to that same folder, and you can see here how it goes back toward the cylinder openings and toward the openings where what I'm calling the push rods, I'm not exactly sure that that's what they are, where those go in as well. And you can see it's kind of cylindrical going back to the other side. And then if we take another look, let me switch this to an image editor again, the outliner up here. And let's take another look at yet another image in here. And then we get to the other side. Here it is. And you can see there's that cylinder coming through. But then you've got this piece here. And this piece I'm not going to really create as part of that cylinder. It's going to be its own piece. And we're just going to put them together. And then there's the issue of the actual cover here, which brings with it a whole new collection of issues and problems. So, are you ready for this? I think what let's do is let's begin on this side over here. I'm going to press the 3 key on the numpad, and let's begin right in here. Now, one side is a little bit off from the other. If we hit Control 3, this may be a little bit different, but I think we can work with this. So first of all, let's just create a circle. I'm going to press Shift-A, Mesh, Circle here. Let's take it down to 0.1 meters. Here it is. I'm going to leave it at 32 sides, and I'm going to turn it in the y-axis, RY90. And there it is. And then let's hit G and move this up here. And actually, we're pretty close to what we want here. I'm trying to get this part right around here on the outside of that. Let's see if we can get it something about like this. All right, and then we should move it out some. Let's press Shift-Z to go back to solid view. And I'm thinking maybe about like this, let's say. We may have to move our cylinders and centerpieces here, but let's begin right here. So for this, I'll tab into edit mode, and let's get this part going back a bit. So it just goes back a little bit. I'll press EX and pull back like that. And yeah, it looks like we may need to move the cylinders and that centerpiece this way some. But then let's also extrude in to get this, right? So let's select this edge here, hit ES, scale in a bit, and I think we can see that over here. I'll hit the 3 key. Here we go. Yeah, we can see that right here. So let's just hit the S key until we get to this point right there on the reference image. And then let's just extrude out a bit, right? It has a bit of a lip there, so let's hit EX and just pull that out to here for now. All right, so now that we have that, I think I'm going to take this and extrude this back some more. We do know that we're going to need to move these up some because that's a fairly small area between where we put the circle and where these are going to connect onto them. But we've got more to do going back. So I think what we can do is go ahead and extrude this on back to where these rods are going to go in. So I'll hit EX and let's pull this way. And we're going to need these to go in right about here, let's say. All right, so the next order of business is going to be to move these forward to get them in place here where the openings are. So to do that, we're, I think, going to need to create a collection for this. So let's come up here and right-click on the top header here and choose Duplicate Area into New Window. So here we've got this. And then I'm going to change this to an outliner again. Looks like I need to stretch this out a bit. Here we go. It's over here. Or we can press Shift F9. Let's do that. Let's try that. Shift F9. There we go. And now I'll hit the minus key on the numpad. And let's take all of these pieces and give them their own collection, because currently I think we just have them out here in the engine. I've got these here. I can always right click and choose select objects, and that'll select everything in that collection. And I'd like to be able to do that with these as well. So let's select all of these here. I'll just go through and try and get these selected. And then let's create a new collection. I'll press M, new collection. Let's call this engine cylinders. There we go. We can take this and drag it into the engine. There it is. And now let's add these other ones to that as well. So let's select all of these and press M and move these into the engine, into engine cylinders right there. All right, now that we have those created, let's just right-click on this collection and choose Select Objects. And now let's move these forward a bit to the point that we think we want them. I'm looking at this right here, I guess. So let's move these forward to about right here. Let's do that. And then let's take this stuff, the between the cylinders, select those objects by right-clicking there in the outliner, and let's move these forward to go along with these. So that's another reason that it's good to create collections and organize things, is because you can select objects in mass and move them around like that. So now that we've got that, what we could try is we could add an edge loop in here, maybe something right along in here, let's say. Let me move it out just a bit like this. And then we could take these faces in here, and we could use these to pull them up and connect those cylinders together here. So let's see, maybe we just need these here. Let's press the 3 key on the numpad, and then what we can try, let me close this, is just hit E and Z, and I'm going to push up to here like this. Oh, let's hit that Z key again. There we go. Like this. And then what we can do is go to vertex mode, and we can begin drag selecting these points to get them in place so they match the reference image a little bit better. So let's say we take this edge and we just move it down a bit. And this one, you can see I'm just taking them down or up so they align to this area here. Now I can take this one and hit G and move it over here, I guess. Could try that. And then let's take these over here and move these into place. All right, that's pretty good, but we now need to select these bases up here, and let's just select this edge here. change to local transformation, and let's bring this up so it kind of sits up here. And the same thing here, like this. And then let's get these others in place a little bit better. So kind of want, let me change back to global here. I kind of want this to come down and meet with these now. There's that, and this probably needs to come up like this. Ours is going to be a little bit off, and that's okay. All right, let's take a look at it now. There we go. Yeah, and so now you can see we've got this area that's connecting up with those base plates. We could maybe take this and move this in just a bit. There we go. All right, yeah, so I think that's going to work out pretty well. We've got more to do, of course. We need to do the same thing, this kind of thing, for these rods here. If we take a look at that, we can see that right in here. We need to do that. And we also need to begin creating the basic shape of the cover as well. So we will work on that coming up next.